Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. It is time now for Aging in Style with American Retirement Advisors. Joining us now is President and owner Joe Vitale. Thank you so much for calling in with us today.
Good morning, Colette. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. You're welcome. Grab a pen and a notepad, everyone. He has some great information for us. Today we are talking about retirement in this very unpredictable market. So if someone, Joe, is retiring next year, how can they know that they will have enough income to live on?
It's a great question, especially with the uncertainty going on right now. People don't know what's happening. You have the election coming up, which is real. I mean, we've seen different market strategies, market corrections, whether it goes up, whether it goes down, depending if it's Republican or Democrat. Regardless of the scenario, you have to make sure that your income is consistent. And that's the biggest thing. When you're retiring next year, as an example, and you say, how am I going to have consistent income? How am I going to make sure, regardless of the political climate, regardless of the market, how can I make sure that I can live? And that's to be, as we talk about all the time, is to be properly allocated and to solve for income. One of the things we do with our clients is when they come in, we have a roadmap. The roadmap is actually like a compass, exactly how we're going to pull income to survive. And what our clients find is if they have enough income, consistent income that they can depend on, then regardless of the market volatility, if the market's on a tear and it's doing great, that's wonderful. But if we have a little downturn like we did a few months back and a lot of uncertainty, they're going to be okay. And all of our clients were able to kind of stay the course just to make sure until it came back up. So that's it. Having that consistent income piece is huge in retirement, and that's really what you have to solve for.
And now the market is going up and down. It's like a roller coaster. So if the market goes down, how do people know that they can afford to live? Can they?
That's the biggest concern is, if you retired, as an example, if you retired in 2000 and you had this big pile of money and everything is wonderful, the market went down 3 years in a row. And then it went up, and then it went back down again in 2008. You lost those 10 years. I mean, those 10 years you have just about no growth whatsoever. So how are you going to live if you're peeling money off the top of your savings to retire? In that climate, you're not going to make it. So again, you have to make sure that one of the things we make sure is we say, all right, we're going to take this money, we're going to put this as an income strategy, or we're going to use this for consistent income. I mean, whether we're looking at dividend yield, whether we're looking at just, there's different strategies we're going to look at. It all depends on the risk tolerance as well. So we're looking at how our client's comfort is with risk, how our client's comfort is with that, and then we're going to solve for making sure that the income, that check, if you can have that consistent check come in, knowing that you're going to be okay, that's what we have to do.
Okay, Joe, so someone says, hey, I'm retiring, I just want to golf, I want to just go out in the water, I want to relax and enjoy a little R&R, and they don't want to work. How can they make sure that their money is going to last?
Number one of the things we talk about, we are Dave Ramsey SmartVestors, so if you follow Ramsey, you know that we don't like debt. Right? Debt is something, if we can get rid of debt and have no debt going into retirement, that's number one, because now you're going to go into retirement with a peace of mind of knowing that I don't have all these expenses every month to live on. And some people have to go to work just to pay that car payment or just to pay that, I want that hot tub. So they go in debt for that hot tub, and now how are they going to make that payment? So a good rule of thumb is to go into retirement with as little debt load as possible, making sure, we're going to look at Social Security optimization as well. Sometimes it makes sense to draw Social Security at 62. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we let it ramp up. It all depends what the income need is, where you won't have to work in retirement. But let's face it, if you didn't save enough for retirement, then you may have to. But it all depends. I mean, we don't have that magic ball, but at the same token, we can help make sure that we optimize the strategies, make sure the income comes in the right way, optimize the Social Security, reduce the debt load, and then you can have that nice peace of mind when you go into retirement.
A lot of people have this question. How does an income annuity actually work, and is that a good option in this market condition?
Excellent question, because the income annuities, you almost have to be careful. I really don't like some of these income annuities because you totally lose control of your money. You want to make sure you maintain control. Annuitization, I'm really not a fan of annuitization. I am a fiduciary, so we do work with annuities. We do work with actively managed accounts. And every situation is different. One of my friends retired from one of the big three, and he had this big pension, and he wanted to take the income. Well, when you look at the income annuity, if he and his wife pass away and there's $900,000, that's gone. That's absolutely gone. But there's other strategies where you can use either an income annuity and still maintain control of it. But as far as a term certain, you really have to be careful, because that's kind of where annuities got a bad name years and years ago. When they bought an annuity for income, they passed away, the company kept their money, and they're like, oh my goodness, that's the worst thing in the world, and it is. But they had the higher payout, so you really need to make sure you don't get an income annuity that goes to the company. You have to make sure there's beneficiary provisions. You have to make sure you understand it. So we like to make sure our clients fully understand everything, so they can take the best strategy. I don't like a lot of fees. There's a lot of annuities that are laden with fees, and you 3 to 4%. That's horrible. We're going to break those apart, peel those apart, and show them the best strategy. And sometimes an annuity is a good situation, but it all depends, and you have to fully understand it. And we kind of work with a combination a lot of times. So we'll look at options, but maintaining control is very, very important in that situation.
And you touched on this a tad, Joe. Should people take a lump sum pension or the income? Which is better?
Oh, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say we're going to take the lump sum rollover. Why? Because we've seen pension companies have trouble, right? We've seen pensions go insolvent. I've got the biggest concern a lot of my clients have is, will my income be consistent in retirement? Is my Social Security going to be dependable? Is my pension going to be dependable? Will that company stay solvent? That's a real concern. And if you've got an opportunity to take a lump sum, 9 times out of 10, we're taking that lump sum and putting it into a different strategy. Again, maintain control. Even with some dividend yield that we're able to produce, a lot of times it's going to give a very good, consistent income. But it's maintaining control, and it's all about protecting it for your family and for your income. So we run scenarios on all different strategies for the rollover. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 where we've told our clients that please go ahead and take that pension. There's no way you're even going to come close to it. Sometimes it's just too wonderful. But the majority of the time, I'm going to say 95, 98% of the time almost, we're going to take the lump sum and take control of that in your portfolio, and it's going to do better for you long term.
Well, Joe, we always love it when you stop by. We always leave smarter and so much more informed. Thank you for such valuable information today.
You're welcome. Thank you. It's been great.
Thank you. If you would like any more information, please head on over to the hot links section at WNEM.com.